I don't normally do this, but for Jerry, I'm going to. Who's lucky enough to have Santa Claus as their boss every day?
So when I think of Jerry, I think of witty,
Funny, yeah.
funny, yes.
Yeah, very comfortable to talk to, like
Very kind.
a father figure.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
When I told my friends and family about Jerry's passing, most expected me to be stunned and sad, but it was hard for them to understand how I could be so very upset. It's hard for others to understand how much more he was than a director. He was more than a boss or a coworker. He was Jerry.
Jerry was a great mentor. He was a wonderful friend, and he was a lot of fun to be around.
Jerry was a great boss, a great friend.
I think with every leader you have to have people who want to follow you, and Jerry had a lot of followers, especially myself.
I can't tell you how many times I had to go to him with just ridiculously small things, and he would always help me with it.
He never would look down on you. He was a great person to go talk to. He was the best boss. I never even thought of him as a boss. Did you?
No, he was more like a big friend.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, he was just a big
good
friend.
Boss.
Yes.
He's just a friend.
A friend, yeah.
That you could go to with just about
Anything, yeah.
Whether a minor issue or a major issue, Jerry had a way of always making things better.
The man could make the worst situation turn into he would just make you laugh whenever you're thinking, oh my gosh, this is terrible, but he could turn it around in a second.
He was always really understanding. He didn't sweat the small stuff.
I could just go plop down in his office, and if I had a bad day, he knew my Italian temper. My arms would go flailing, but he would handle it just perfectly every single time.
His favorite thing to say when everybody was freaking out was, "Hey, don't worry, everything will be better next year."
The first time I met him, he was just so caring and loving, and I thought, this is where I want to work, because he made our department a family.
I like to think of Jerry as very much like my dad. Always happy, always cheery.
The thing I think most about Jerry was that he reminded me of my father, and that he and Peggy had a love like my mom and dad, and had been together for so many years. So when I was around Jerry, I truly felt like I was around family.
I got sick and I was on my way to the restroom, and Jerry was standing there talking to someone, and I got sick on Jerry, and it was not a good impression, first impression anyway with Jerry. But the next day when I came back, of course, he remembered my name. So he was like, "Hey, Benita, how are you?"
Just a quintessential person here at Children's Hospital, always trying to do what was best, not only for our patients and families, but for everybody else in the hospital. He was just such an icon.
Moment that I can remember especially well with him was him playing Santa for one of our coworkers who had a special needs daughter. His gentleness that he showed was just, it really showed through.
One day I saw that we weren't getting much light, and I looked up and there was like this big huge eyeball looking at me, and I had no idea what it was. And then as the door was opening, here comes a big pink Pepto-Bismol bunny rabbit, huge pink Pepto-Bismol bunny rabbit. And then all of a sudden he just sits down in the chair and takes the head off, and there's Jerry. I just started laughing.
My daughter came. She's like about 9 years old, to help, and she was like a little volunteer. So shortly after that, around Christmas time, Jerry Moody saw that she had worked so hard for Halloween that he gave her a gift certificate, a gift card from Macy's for $25. She had total respect for him after that point.
And my son Chad was paralyzed by the fact that there's this guy talking to him, and the only word that Chad could get out was the word yuck. So every time I saw Jerry after that, he would say, "Hey, how's that little yuck kid doing?"
But that was him, that was Jerry. He would do anything for the kids here at the hospital, even if that meant being a big, huge pink bunny rabbit.
and they did this little tribute for OSU, and he was like the highlight of the party. I would never forget.
Oh,
He had his hat on, a little stick, and they put don't they have a theme song for OSU that they put on, and Jerry started singing and marching. I almost cracked my side laughing. It was so funny.
I think the past 2 Saturdays when they played Wisconsin and Michigan, I think definitely the first person I thought about after they won was how Jerry was smiling.
Jerry as a boss made me want to do better, not because it was my job or because I didn't want to get yelled at, but because he was a good man and I respected him and he deserved better and I didn't want to let him down.
And, I think in the long run made me a better employee.
Such a good role model, and he makes me want to be a better person. And I hope that one day people look at me the same way that I view him and have such fond memories.
I definitely will miss him.
I will miss him very much.
And I miss him like I miss my dad.
And I'm going to miss working for him a lot. He was a good guy.
I remember him both as Santa Claus, and I remember him as just a wonderful leader of the radiology group. And I'll miss him.
I am going to miss him so much, and him being Santa Claus, I had a good chance to sit on Jerry's lap because he was Santa Claus.
But sometimes I just wish he would walk back through the door and I would hear his familiar sound of his office door opening. I'm really going to miss Jerry, and we're all better just for knowing him.
I think about you probably every day that I walk through the doors here at NCH, and probably will for the time that I work here. Thanks, Jerry.
God bless you and your family. We love you very much.
I think heaven is a much brighter place now that Jerry is there. Thank you.
And he was just such an important part of my life, and we will miss him very much.